everyone. Thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. My name is Edie. This is a very personal video. Like, I am not even really sure how to address it, to be honest with you. If you have been following me, you know that I've been on a health journey. Had gastric bypass, just lots of things, right? I'm constantly searching for the ability to stay and maintain healthy. Yesterday, well, I had a sleep study appointment the night before last. Yesterday I had my endocrinologist appointment and my dietitian appointment. My endocrinology visits started with my thyroid because I have hypothyroidism. And they turned into diabetic care, and yesterday I was actually diagnosed with diabetes type 2. Listen, I'm not wanting to make this a drama-filled or drama-induced type video. I'm just not really sure how I feel about it. And I'm going to share a bit of personal insight with you guys. Sometimes we do these videos to just get support. Like, to just feel like we're not alone. To feel supported and lifted, right? Because we have down days, we have confused. I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I feel a little numb, maybe. And again, I'm not trying to be drama-ish about this. Diabetes is diabetes, and here's the deal. I grew up with a dad that was brittle diabetic, type 1. As children, I remember having to give him insulin injections because he couldn't do it himself. I remember being out in public. My dad and I were like this, and we would go places together all the time. I was like his right hip. I was there all the time. And I remember sitting at a counter in one of our local diners. I want to say more than once, too. And this happened in different places, but he was going into an insulin reaction. And at 6 years old, I had the know-how to order an orange juice with a straw so that I could feed it to my dad and get him to come out of his, it wasn't coma, but coma-like state that he was in when he would go into reaction, because he would just shut down. And so there's a lot of PTSD-like emotions that come up with the word diabetes. My dad had a very bad accident one time because he had gone into an insulin reaction and crashed his car. Broke his collarbone. And he was in and out of the hospital almost all my life. He was a sick man. My mom cared for him as diligently as she could. And at the ripe age of 56, he passed away. And so there's this really not so good connection with diabetes that I've always had. And about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer now, I was diagnosed with insulin resistance, and it didn't really hit me because it didn't have the word diabetes in it. And then prior to my gastric bypass, I had been diagnosed with pre-diabetes because things were progressively getting worse. And at the time, nobody really addressed it. They just assumed that the gastric bypass and me losing weight was going to eliminate the diabetes status in my life and in my body. And although I think it went into remission, which is what my doctor calls it, I wasn't having as many issues when I was smaller, and I wasn't noticing it as much because my energy was good, I felt good, the pressure off of my joints was better because the weight was off of it. There were multiple things that were stacking to my benefit to keep me unfocused on that root problem, right? And so I have put a little bit of weight back on, but I don't believe, she doesn't believe it either, that that's the reason that it's come out of remission. She said that once you have it, you always have it. It can go into remission, but it will rear its ugly head as you get older. And I think that's where we're at. That's what she feels anyway, my endocrinologist. And so, with that, my pancreas hasn't stopped working altogether, but what happens is it will release insulin, and my cells will hold on to the insulin and then decide when it's going to release it based on what I'm eating or whatnot. But sometimes it holds on to it too much, or it gives it too much, gives my body too much. And so what happens is I'm having some pretty severe spikes in my sugar after I eat that kind of linger there for a while, and then all of a sudden the cell releases the insulin and I drop. My sugar drops super quick and I feel shitty, like I feel really bad. And so I've been complaining about this for years, that I don't like eating because I don't like how I feel when I eat, and that's why. And I didn't really understand that until now. She has put me on, so I have an official diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, which is shitty in itself. I am definitely going to have to work on diet, right? Because how I eat can definitely affect how my sugars react. I am now going to be on a glucose monitor, a continuous glucose monitor. I have one on my arm. I use the Libra 3, if anybody's wondering. It connects right to my phone. It's kind of neat. Neat little gadget. And they're going to put me on a very low dose of Trulicity to start, and to see how my body reacts to that, if it's going to help with the release of insulin at the right times, because that seems to be my issue, right? And with the gastric bypass, I think between the two of them, the Trulicity and my pouch, I should have some pretty good results, because what will happen is it will slow the digestion of food, allow the cell to have time to react to what's being eaten, and know how much insulin to release into my system better. I don't know how my body does that. It's a miracle thing, right? But so that's where I'm at right now, and I need to be honest with you. Like, I just feel about it. Like, there's just a part of me that I know that this is not the end of the world. I know that this is not the end all be all. I know that there's a lot of knowledge and work around type 2 diabetes because of the wonderful medicine and doctors that we have, and that I can potentially even get it back into remission for a while. I just think it's the whole word. Like, diabetes just, I don't know. There's something about it that just hurts my heart. My best friend, my dad, passed because of it, and I don't feel like I'm in that realm. Like, that's not my fear. I don't feel like I'm gonna die from this. I just don't like it. I don't know. I just don't like it. And I think that maybe because it's so fresh and new, that's part of why I'm feeling the way that I feel. But at the same token, diabetes is diabetes, right? So, anyway, just thought I would share that with you 10 minutes later. If you're experiencing any of what I've just shared, please share it with me, because it's not that I want other people to feel the way that I feel. It's just a nice feeling to know that you're not alone, right? And of course, not everybody's going to have the exact experience that I'm having, because we're all individuals and we all have different things that we're dealing with. But 34 million people in this world have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, yeah, okay. I don't even know how to end the video. But I love you guys. Thanks for listening as always. Thank you for supporting me along any journey that I'm taking.